The European countries lag generally behind the United States. What are these indicators? Quality of education, science education and science scores. It's very interesting because the former socialist countries were known for the science and turned out to be large quantities of engineers, but this has been for the last 20 years neglected. We are educating a lot of lawyers, psychologists, philosophers, literacy, etc., and less scientific people, engineers. It's an interesting development. We are lagging, the region is lagging in technology absorption, availability of the latest technology, not to talk about inventing technology. We are lagging in internet access. We are lagging in R&D spending in company and the government. And we are lagging in languages, knowing languages, with international language being English and German, say, and French. But we are lagging in that as well. So we are lagging in life expectancy, and I would like to emphasize this. If life expectancy is very low, that means that people are sick longer period of time or even die earlier. That means that they don't have a chance to work as much, or they are missing on job days and so forth, which is reducing productivity. So knowledge-based economy is the future.
So I believe that there is a role. The industry is ready. We're ready with projects. We're ready with the development. We're ready with the science. I agree that what we need now is a vision. And the vision and a little bit of hope as well. I think that, optimism, I'm an optimist, this is maybe why I'm in business, but I believe that, we have the tools to do better. It's just a question now of formulating the projects, and those projects need to be formulated not only at the top level. Everybody's talking about Brussels. I think, those projects need to take place at the level of the regions, at the level of the cities. This is where it happens. And I believe we all here can help formulating those projects.
Education. What do we need in education? Why doesn't Europe have a Silicon Valley or a biological triangle as in the United States? Because the efforts are too dispersed nationally, even within the nation, many universities, etc. We should improve find ways of having a Silicon Valley or of having a biological triangle like in the United States. Europe is lagging behind inventing technology compared to the United States. Second thing, vocational training. Vocational training in our region is lagging behind. There are good examples in Germany, in Austria, what needs to be done, how the government can encourage vocational training. Very important. Reduction. We were talking about small and medium-term enterprises. What needs small and medium-term enterprises? Number one, they need a reduction in bureaucracy. In our region, bureaucracy is very important. For instance, in Hungary, to get for an investment, an approval, you needed 42 different authorizations. Now, that has been reduced by one stroke by 1/3. And this is even not enough. More can be done, and I am sure in Poland, in the Czech Republic, everywhere in the former socialist countries, bureaucracy is very important. You should improve the judicial process, speed, transparency, confidence. Companies don't know whether they can win win a case in the courts. The courts are very slow. Medium and small enterprises cannot function without, even big companies, without an improved judicial process. Simplify the tax system, and finally, improve government services. A very important aspect of it. These are concrete measures that any country can look at it and can introduce these measures, and you don't need that much money for that.
The industry is ready to develop the most modern energy systems, and clean energy, biogas, the most modern healthcare, the most modern transportation. The problem is, when the project is formulated and it comes to a tender, what happens usually, it's always the cheap, and the cheapest that gets approved. Why? Because people feel safe, that if it's cheap, it is safe. Well, I would argue that, if we go this way, modern technologies will never come through because sometimes a little more expensive, but more productive. Therefore, we need a little bit change in the way the procurement system is done in making sure that the new technologies have a voice, they are approved, even they are a little bit maybe more expensive, they are more competitive, they are more productive, therefore they should be accepted. I know the EU is working at this. I don't know how it should be, but I know it's very important modification. The Silicon Valley of today is virtual, it's internet. Let me give you an example. A few weeks ago, we started what we call the Eco Challenge, which is inviting the startups and the small inventors to produce their ideas, to work with us, and we would support them with money to develop their products for one thing, which is what we call the smart grid, the smart network. Do you know that between the production and the consumer, we lose 50% of the energy? This is the efficiency that the Commissioner commented. 50% is lost, and smart grids would allow to avoid losing this by bringing better efficiency all along the lines. We invited the companies and the startups to propose their projects. Do you know that hundreds of startups from Central Europe propose their projects? So there is creativity here, and they just have to go to internet. And if their projects is selected, they will be supplied by money, they'll be supported by money, and finally, there'll be the invention will produce local jobs. So I believe that we have to work with the tools of today, and I think internet is a great tool in this respect.
When I was young, I had a dream. My dream was that that communism will be over, our countries will be a democratic, independent country. And my dream got realized. I lived that time. I'm very happy. Now I have become more ambitious. I have another dream that I live until our countries will catch up with the standard of living of Germany. And I am sure it will happen.